what it is, and then I took a metaphor and said, this is what it is.
So I think it's a very powerful point you make. All of us like to think, we like to rehearse, we want to be careful about what we are going to say. So to my young friends here, I would say trust your intuition. If you feel intuitive about something, go with it. Is that something you will agree?
That's how it happens to me every time that I get the new word. Then I was trying to explain something, suddenly new words coming to me. And then I say, this is what I was looking for. A few seconds before, I didn't know about that. So this is how it worked out, and I continue with that. And bonsai example comes out very handy. People immediately understand what I'm saying.
Please explain that for those
bonsai,
who came in late.
I said, people ask me after long years of work with Grameen Bank, microcredit, and everything that I did, they asked me the question, why do you think, Dr. Yunus, people are poor? So I said, well, poverty is not created by the poor people to begin with. That's what I should keep on repeating a million times. Poverty is not something which is created by the poor people themselves. Poverty is created by the system that we built around us. So it's not a self-generated phenomenon, what is called poverty. It's an imposed phenomenon. So I give that example. Then I said, well, they're like a bonsai. Bonsai, you take the seed of the tall tree in the forest and a good seed of that tree and plant it in a flower pot and let it grow. And the seed will grow. But the tree will grow only 2 feet to 3 feet or 3.5 feet. That's about it. It's a beautiful replica of the tree that you see in the forest, but it's way smaller than that. It's a cute little replica, and we call it bonsai. And you ask yourself, what's wrong with this tree? Why didn't it grow as tall as the one that's in the forest? The answer is very simple. We didn't give enough soil to the seed to grow as tall as the other tree. So it remained stunted, and call it bonsai. I said, poor people are bonsai people. There's nothing wrong with their seed. Simply society never gave them the space to grow as tall as everybody else. That's what the poverty is all about. The entire fault is on the system that we created. Like we're talking about a bank, which is fundamental in changing people's life. But we have never created an institution to solve the problem of financing the poor people. Where do they find money? To go to the loan shark, মহাজনের কাছে যেতে হবে, তা না হলে উপায় নেই। পুরো জিনিসটা শুরু হলো মহাজনকে কেন্দ্র করে। I wanted to stop that Mahajani in the next village of the university they were teaching. So I started lending myself. So this is how the whole idea came, that you have to create a new institutions to address the situation.
And
Otherwise it will not be done.
Explain the idea of the mushroom now.
Mushroom thing about the wealth concentration that I was taking. Usually people are familiar to say that, people at the bottom of the pyramid. People at the bottom of the pyramid. That's what everybody understands. Then suddenly I asked the question, how do you see the pyramid? I don't see a pyramid. Where is that pyramid? Pyramid has to have a base, then it gets smaller and smaller and gets taller and taller and a kind of a triangular shape. But in the income distribution, I don't see any triangular shape. And in some textbook of economics, they talked about champagne glass. You know, the big flat top and then have a stem of the champagne glass. And this is the wealth distribution. All the wealth is concentrated on the glass part of it, and the people are on the stem part of it. I said, that was old-fashioned. I said, I don't even accept the champagne glass explanation because it gives you a fixed imagination. There's a fixed nature. It doesn't grow. I said, the best explanation would be like a mushroom. You have a big mushroom and a stem. And that mushroom is growing all the time. All the wealth of the world is reflected in that mushroom. That mushroom is owned by half a dozen people or a dozen people. Now it will be less than dozen people, less than one person and so on. Number of owners are decreasing, but the shape of the mushroom is increasing. And that is the danger part of the wealth concentration. And the stem, which is hanging from the mushroom, is becoming thinner and thinner. That's a 99.9% of the population of the entire world. They have this amount of wealth. And where is the thing that we call about bottom of the pyramid? There is no pyramid there. So I'm trying to get rid of this pyramid idea completely out I said, the bottom 50% of the population, they have their stem probably will become thinner and thinner like a little string of something because every day is getting thinner. So this is the danger path. I said, it's a ticking time bomb. It will explode anytime. As I was raising the question that can world survive? Can human beings survive beyond 100 years? And I'm saying no. If you keep this system functioning as it is, it will explode. People will just go berserk. That they will kill each other because it's just not possible to accept system which grabs everything and pushes in the top. I said, people in the top are not bad people. They're not kind of a monster sitting there. They're good people. But the system sucks up everything from the bottom and pushes it up there. I said, that system has to be changed completely so that the system becomes reverse. The mushroom, instead of wealth moving to the mushroom, wealth starts coming from the mushroom to the 99% of the people who are in the bottom. That's the argument that I was making.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And give him a big hand. We are running out of time. I just will have one last question. And I do want to read a paragraph from Dr. Yunus's book. He has been very kind to let me do that. So here's the question. Dr. Yunus, poverty, poor people, issues related to poverty, and consequences of poverty, you have eloquently argued in this book, is not just a poor nation issue. You have explained how poverty, poor people, consequences of poverty, and opportunities arising out of them are today there in even the developed countries. So please talk about the global face of poverty.
Yeah. Those are the three things, the three zeros, just to clarify why these three zeros are. I'm trying to imagine a world of three zeros. Zero poverty, nobody will be a poor person. And I keep saying that poverty doesn't belong to human civilization. It belongs to the museums. We are sitting in front of a museum. Someday this will be the poverty museum, where only
we'll have a separate museum for that. We'll keep this one.
You'll expand it. So you'll have a poverty museum so that the younger generation will not know what poverty is like. So they would like to go to a museum to find out. And the next zero is zero unemployment. I said human beings are not born to work for anybody else. So the question of unemployment doesn't exist. And I tell the young people in Bangladesh, I said, tell yourself that you're not job seekers, you're a job creators. Never ask for a job from anybody. You create the jobs yourself. And we make it happen. All human beings are basically entrepreneurs. Our economic theory pushed us in the wrong direction to asking you to serve somebody. I said that is a completely wrong direction. Human beings has unlimited creative power, but that creative power is totally wasted by working for somebody else, which doesn't need all your creative power. They need only tiny little bit, and you waste everything else. I said that's a shame. So we will create a world of zeros, and the third zero is the zero net carbon emission. Create a world which will be safe from the carbon emission, and the planet will be a safer planet than we have. So this is the direction that we want to get, and we want to make zero poverty because that human capability is the same as a rich person and a poor person. Doesn't matter. The same capability exists, and that we only open up the opportunities for them by making it happen. That's where comes the social business. The social business, the economic system has misinterpreted human being, saying that human beings are only driven by self-interest. I said absolutely wrong interpretation of a human being. We should be throwing that interpretation out. Human being is a combination of both selfishness and selflessness at the same time. So there is a business on the selfishness, which we all have here today, all over the world, but the selfless business doesn't exist. That's what we have been creating a business to solve problem rather than make money for ourselves. And it's a non-dividend company. We are not here to make money from you. We are here to solve the problem that we see around us. Once we introduce this social business into the system, suddenly the whole economic system changes, wealth concentration changes, economic unemployment situation changes, everything changes. But then there's a danger of artificial intelligence, which I also bring into the book. Artificial intelligence is also taking us to the next danger, because we may be extinct as a human being, because artificial intelligence will become a super intelligence, and they will feel that these people, the human beings, are unnecessary nuisance in this planet. Get rid of them, and we'll be all done, finished. Because we are giving them the intelligence to procreate themselves rather than wait for human intervention.
Thank you, Dr. Yunus. And on that note, I will just read for your benefit the last chapter, which is not as gloomy as his last statement. He says, "We are fortunate enough to have been born in an age of great possibilities, an age of amazing technologies, of great wealth, and of limitless human potential. Now the solutions to many of our world's pressing problems, including problems like hunger, poverty, and disease that have plagued humankind since before the dawn of history, are within reach. Most of these solutions could be accelerated through the creation of a new economic order that includes the powerful tool of social business. In a world that seems to be creating more and more depressing news every day, we can create an outburst of hope, demonstrating that the indomitable human spirit need never yield to frustration and despair. The purpose of human life on this planet is not merely to survive, but to live on it with grace, beauty, and happiness. It is up to us to make it happen. We can create a new civilization based not on greed, but on the full range of human values. Let's begin today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Yunus.
Thank you.
Thank you, young friends here.